This year, youth delegates from various parts of the world talking about climate change camp outside while the rest of the world's elite talk about stuff inside.
Science has to be the basis of policy and has to be the basis of action. And if we divert from that, we do it at our own peril.
The idea of this Basecamp is to really bring the Arctic to decision makers and inspire to take action.
We do actually have state-of-the-art laboratories here. We do have power. We work in heated spaces, and it's actually quite comfortable, and we can really do unique and high-quality measurements that haven't been possible on previous expeditions like this.
Arctic Basecamp, this wonderful organization. Why am I a part of it? Because I was sitting on my butt in Los Angeles, reading a lot of articles about climate change and sending out a lot of angry tweets about climate change and getting incensed at all of the people that were denying it and trying to hold it up in the United States. And I thought, I need to do something.
This is the first time in the history of humanity that we have the ability to write our history.
What we are going to do is mobilize the scientific community so that they can speak science to power.
Now, thanks to natural science and the social sciences, the business community is very clear that climate change is costing money and lives today and will cost a lot more money and lives in the future unless we halve emissions.
To help us understand how innovation fits into the model in the future. So how do we tweak the dial?
The more we learn, the more nervous we get. Why? Because of the empirical observations we're seeing.
These top scientists are addressing the CEOs, they're addressing the business owners and founders, the CFOs, the heads of state, powerful movers and shakers, and I also want to be a voice of the common person that needs to do what they can to start by learning about the science and reducing individually our carbon footprint.
We have to work with the politicians, the business leaders, and just the general public. It's just about getting our message across.
There's a lot of knowledge seeking, which is a great part of science, and I certainly hope that science continues to do that. I am particularly excited, though, about finding problems in the world, and so I would encourage you to do the same. Find a problem in the world and go solve it using science.
One year ago, I came to Davos and told you that our house is on fire.
We have only 10 years left.
We will get nowhere if we don't bring people on this journey. That is the emergence from emergency. That is the fact that young, old, business sector, scientists, policymakers, we have to turn this decade into the greatest decade we've ever seen and create a new revolution.
We all have a story to tell. I'm camping with the Arctic Basecamp, and we've been sleeping out in tents. This is to show you that we've left our comfort zones.
We need to understand the urgency of the situation.
Get solving this, because we have the money, we have the technology and the resources. What we need is the determination, and it is incredible what we as humans can do if we can band together.
My name is Sasha Pleedoff, I'm from Greenland, and my home is melting. So do something about it.
Yeah!
That in our air, the climate system, biodiversity, the forest, land, and ocean, they are all about the global commons. It's widely shared by the globe.
The global warming is a global problem, so especially Arctic, because what happened in Arctic affects the whole world.
So I think the more we understand the Arctic, the better we can make policies.
Here it's hot. Very cold.
Oh yeah? I hear the glacier speaking to me. It's like, save us, protect us.
The only way to save the Arctic
sea ice especially,
is to unite behind the science and have every single political business decision globally trying to bend emissions curves dramatically.
Well, I fully agree with the point been taken in the presentation that the Arctic issue is so much more than geopolitical issue or issue of geopolitical contest or competition or tension. It's about climate, it's about our future, and that's why we need to tackle climate change if we want to save the Arctic.
The end of Davos 2020. Really pleased to be joined by Dr. Gail Whiteman from the Arctic Basecamp, among many other things.
That's right, that's right.
But tell me about the Arctic Basecamp, why you've done it here in Davos, and the community that seems to be building around it.
Yeah. The reason why we come is that we know that the physical changes that are happening in the Arctic from climate change pose global threats for the rest of the world. And there's no better place to discuss global risk than here in Davos.